Hey guys, Carmine, Bianco, WagerTalk.com. I'm here with Nick Borrman, and this is a special edition of Stoppage Time in-game betting. It's the MLS Cup Final. Portland Timbers and Orlando City Soccer Club. This one, while it is scheduled to go at 8:30, will probably be delayed about 15 minutes or so. So in the meantime, Nick and I will talk about some of our bets in this game, and we'll talk about like some Champions League stuff that's coming up. There's 4 big games on tap starting tomorrow. So Nick, how's it going, man?
Good. Happy this MLS tournament is coming to an end because I didn't do great with it. I had a terrible group stage, but I did come back in the knockout rounds and had a decent run through the knockout rounds. So I'm happy about that. But ready to end it with a bang. It's going to be a good game tonight. Both these teams were, I don't know, they just both seemed, Orlando kind of, I guess more so, seemed destined to win from the beginning. Maybe it was because it was in the city. They had a big point to prove. But from that very first game, they really looked like they could be something to look out for. And then, of course, when they beat LAFC, that set the tone. So it should be a fun game. I mean, it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be, hard fought. It could go either way, to be honest. I think we'll see some goals, which is exciting. And, the MLS. Both teams love to score. You usually see 2-3 goals. So 4 goals maybe. I'm excited to get on to the game, which, as you said, it's going to be a few minutes. I don't know what the MLS is. Their problem is they just don't respect game start times.
Yeah, it's going to happen at some point. I'll get it up on my screen. In the background on my TV, I've got the quadruple overtime game in the NHL right now on Tampa Bay and Columbus. So,
who do you got? I know you got somebody.
Yeah, I've got Tampa Bay in the game. So it's actually part of a parlay with my 2 soccer wagers today. I figured the game was at 3:00. I'm like, let me just. I played Sevilla. Plus 110. I played obviously Shakhtar even money, and then I thought, okay, I might as well just put a parlay in as well too. And I took the 2, and I thought, let me toss in the Tampa game because it starts at 3:00. I go, it'll be over well before the show starts, and 4 overtimes later, it hasn't. But regardless, it's going to be a good day for me. I had a 5% play on Shakhtar today, and
that was a good bet.
And as I was saying to Nick before the show started, it seems like the last little while, I've had some winners, but my team goes down 1-0. So it's good to see your team jump on top early.
Yeah, when you get a goal 2 minutes in, you feel pretty good about it. I think that was the mark you got for today, right? I had the over in that game, so I was also happy it took. I mean, when was the second goal? It was like in the 20th minute or something around there. But it took a while to get the third one, but really never in doubt either way on total and the side. So good game for us. We both had Sevilla, which was a nice win too. So good Europa day for sure. I had the Sevilla correct score at 1-0, and I had the Inter Milan correct score yesterday at 2-1.
Oh, nice.
That's
a good one.
The only one I didn't have was United, who I had as my 5% play, and once it went to extra time, it's like we've talked about before. You have them. I had a -1.5, and it was one of those things. Okay, you didn't cover. And, hell, you didn't even have the lead. I hope you lose. And, of course, 6 minutes in, they're bailed out with a penalty, and they end up going on and winning. So now I'm going to cheer against them the rest of the way, unless, of course, I think it's time to bet on them. Then I'll put my anger aside and try to make money on them again.
Put my anger aside. Speaking of anger, let me tell you guys, for you guys who are just starting to tune in for tonight's game, I asked Nick if you guys in the U.S., because I'm up here in the Great White North, if you guys have IKEA there. I'm in the middle of renovations and hardwood floors in the bedroom and such. And the wife decided to order some stuff from IKEA. And while the Shakhtar game was on, I was trying to put together a dresser, which I just finished a little while ago. They literally took me about 4, maybe 5 hours to put this dresser together.
So many.
Yeah, it's just it's absolutely crazy. I'm thankfully the game went my way, because if the game is kind of going sour and then you're trying to put together a million pieces of like Lego essentially, you kind of go nuts. So I'm kind of glad I did it, and it's out of the way. I still have one to do tomorrow. So
Good luck. I don't envy you. I mean, you look so easy. You go to the store, give me G5. You got to get up in that big giant warehouse rack, and they bring it down to you. And you're like, all right, this is easy. You get home, you unbox it, and you go, there's a lot of freaking pieces here.
But here's the thing: is the minute I opened, it's like for the dresser, there's 3 boxes. The minute I opened the first box, there's a bag this big. I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen, and it's filled with 6 different kinds of screws. It's just screws and these little widgets, wood widgets and stuff. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me, for lack of a better word. And it's just it's absolutely crazy. But I got it done, and I had a 2-0 day in Europa, and that's all that really matters. On to Champions League, and I do have a 5% play coming up on the Friday, Saturday weekend cards. There, I've got a couple big plays. So this coupon code, I believe you can use it tomorrow. I think you can use it on the package, anytime between now and Saturday, or it might only be available to be used Soccer 10 for $10 off one of our soccer packages for tomorrow. Mine is loaded in the back end, but it's not up for sale yet. It will be at halftime of this game. So yeah, Andrew, 10th longest NHL game in history. Absolutely crazy. I keep looking over to the side and stuff to see what's going on, and I got it on Bet365. Oddly enough, they won't allow me to cash it out on Bet365.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not really sure why. Because I think I would have taken the cash out, so just so I didn't have to sweat the game.
They're playing standard playoff rules, right? First goal wins, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not soccer where they keep playing. So.
Well, I don't know. Baseball with all their goofy postseason rules they got going on, but I guess in effort to shorten the game, I guess you couldn't get any shorter than next goal wins in hockey. Nobody scores.
What do you have up for tomorrow, Nick? And you must have 1 or 2 cards up.
Right now, I don't. After the show, I'll have them loaded up. I've been working on. I had a golf show this afternoon, so I've been trying to get a lot of the golf plays in because I'm gonna have a big package up for that. I got 2 straight outright winners back to back, 35-1, each of the last 2 weeks. So, for 3 in a row, so it's I feel a lot of pressure. I'm like, oh God, who's gonna win this week? I know everybody, that's purchased wants to get that 3rd straight winner. Which, listen, 2 in a row is very, very difficult. So I'm not holding my breath. But hey, I'm trying to find that winner. So I don't have. As soon as we're done with the show, I'll have Champions League playoff. I already know what I'm taking there. I just haven't had a chance to put it up. And then we got some Liga MX games. I have had a game already won today, Necaxa, and then actually Brazil in the second round of their league. There's almost a full slate of games tomorrow. So for me, there's quite a bit of action. And then, of course, we got MLS tomorrow, right? Dallas and Nashville, regular season game tomorrow night. That's pretty cool.
So I'm sorry. I got the press bugging me, but finish off that last part. Sorry. I apologize.
I'm saying MLS back tomorrow night.
Yeah, Dallas and Nashville, right?
Yep, all the games. They were the 2 teams out of the tournament, right? For COVID, so they got 3 makeups games to play. They got this game. I think they play again then on the weekend, and then I believe the following weekend, everybody starts back up home at their home stadiums and traveling. So we'll see how this goes, but that's exciting. I'll be happy to at least have that to keep going for every single week going forward. It'll be interesting to see how long they go. I mean, baseball's been a zoo, to say the least, as far as teams. Cardinals haven't played a game in like 2 weeks.
All right, guys, for you guys tuning in, so I'm going to go over some of our pregame bets to start with. They're posted on Twitter, but these are some of our pregame bets. And then I'm going to put up a quick little first half contest where we'll give away a jersey. So these are the bets that we have right now. So we have Orlando City minus 138. That's a draw, no bet. So if it goes to extra time, this wager essentially pushes, and we get our money back on this. We have over 2.5 goals and both teams to score at minus 105. We have a couple, and here's my theory on these ones, just so you get them. We have both Orlando City and the Portland Timbers to win 2-1. Now you're saying, how could both teams win 2-1? The idea behind that is essentially they're both plus 900. One's plus 900. One is plus 850. Sorry, it's been a hell of a day. If this game is tied at 1 in the second half, they will be offering us well over our investment on both of them to cash out. So we're in a good spot there. And even if it's 2-0 for a team, one bet is dead, but the other one still has a chance to win. So at that price, we will take it. We took a couple goal scorers, one for each team. Nani for Orlando at plus 150, and then we took Diego Valeri plus 175 for Portland. I didn't select the void if player doesn't start option because this is the final and neither guy is injured, so they better be in the lineup. And then you guys know I have to do this. The Carm special. Will there be an own goal at plus 1,000? So that's 10-1 on our money that there will be an own goal. So who knows? It's 2020. This stuff happens. So in this screwed up world that we live in right now. So those are the bets, and then we'll be making some bets once we're in action. So Nick, do you want to explain sort of the theory behind the Orlando draw no bet?
Yeah, I mean, both teams, honestly, it was we both liked Orlando a little bit more, but neither one of us, were really sold on Orlando being like a big play and a for sure thing.
Yeah.
But the idea behind it is if we take Orlando, draw no bet, they go up early, we're sitting pretty. If and when that happens, we can look, because now the line starts to become, Portland starts to become very high priced. And at that point, we can look to possibly take Portland on the plus goal number or outright at a big price, depending on where the game is, when that first goal comes. Either way, I'm just hypothetically saying, Orlando scores first. And it gives us an opportunity to either middle or, pretty much create a situation where we can kind of cash one no matter what happens. I mean, the draw no bet option is nice because, again, if Orlando goes up and then we take Portland after that plus a half a goal, well, Portland comes back and scores it. Well, Orlando's not going to that game. If it ends that way, Orlando bet doesn't lose and we cash the Portland bet. So instead of not cashing anything on Orlando with a draw no bet, now all of a sudden we've cashed Portland. And of course, the difference would be if Portland goes up first, then the price on Orlando becomes that much higher, and we have to kind of look at where those options are. But it basically just gives you an option to go the other way on the bet, assuming your team goes up first. You're sitting pretty with it. We don't have to, but it just gives us the option. And we, depending on how the game's going, these MLS games, I made a note in my write-up today for those that have my plays, and it's been every game in the quarterfinals and semifinals has seen both teams score. So it's very likely to me that whoever goes up, the next team to score very well might be the other team. And that's just the MLS, right? Both teams very often get on the scoreboard, and we see plenty of goals either way. So I think it's a good chance to have a chance to I don't want to say have a free bet, but possibly even depending on how quickly it happens or where the price goes to cash a little on both sides or get a free wager, I guess you could say.
No, and that's a real good way to look at it. And you're the one who suggested the draw no bet. I hadn't even thought of it that way. So, and I'm completely comfortable going this route. I think it is a good way to go. I'm seeing that the lineups are out there. They're saying countdown is 13 minutes. So the great thing about the countdown being 13 minutes is it gives me time to put up a contest to give you guys. I got the Azzurri jerseys, the Italy jerseys. It's the only team that I have the extras of. I do have an extra Mexican national team jersey. So if someone wins and you're a fan of Mexico, I will send you that jersey instead. But let's think of a first half contest, and then I'll do another one in the second half as well too. So let's start it off with all right. Who scores? This is an easy one. Not the halftime score. Who scores first in this game? And the tiebreaker is total corner kicks. So now, hear me out on this. You can post your answer, and someone can post the same answer. Don't worry about changing it. I will at halftime. I will draw between the two names that have won. All right. So, or the three names or four names if you have the same one. So pick a team. So let's say if you think Orlando scores first, Orlando, and if you think it's 6 corner kicks, you go Orlando and 6. Good enough, boys? Let's go. So enter those picks in. And while you guys do that, and Rob's in. Robert, you're in Orlando in 4. So you're in Orlando in 6. Don't worry about having the same picks, guys. And don't worry about going against Nick and I. That might actually be a good thing, the way this MLS tournament has gone. Dear God Almighty. Anyone who did buy my MLS tournament package, I've been adding Champions League and Europa League to that package, so you've been getting some winners, so at least that helps.
Yeah, same thing. The Champions Europa League restart has been great for me. MLS was not as good, so it's been a nice way to come out of it. I mean, I love the Champions Europa League competition. It's just such good soccer, so many good teams, and just a lot of fun to watch. I can't wait to watch all these games the next 2 weeks until next Sunday, right? So it's awesome.
Yeah,
I love those tournaments.
It's crazy that and we're used to everything ending. The Champions League would have been decided by now in May, the middle of end of May. I think it would have been. It would have been the transfer season right now, and then we'd be talking about soccer starting in August, right around now. The second or third week of August. They get going, but it's been pushed to September to give these guys at least 30 days off. But September 12th, they kick off in France. It kicks off on the 21st, I believe. And PSG is scheduled to play on the 23rd. Nick, did you know that? I'm pretty sure if they make the final, they'll have to cancel that game.
Oh yeah, they will.
So,
well, the question is, will they get there? Will they get through Atlanta first?
Yeah. Okay. PM, welcome. Isaac Kim, welcome to the chat. Jimmy Salamanca, crash again. Brian Silverstein, welcome, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We're hoping to end this with some winners tonight. So, I would have thought. I would have thought that Portland would have been a slight favorite here. It's actually the other way around with Orlando, and I guess it's just. It's just one of those things that they've been playing well. They've been playing a lot better than I got to give them credit. I didn't think they would get this far. So
I don't think it meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so we're getting some contest entries in, so that's good. You'll get the choice of whether you want the Italian jersey or if you want the Mexican national team jersey. I do have that one. I'm surprised Abel's not in here trying to win that one. He's always in here with a whole bunch of parlays and stuff. So if you missed the video that Nick and I did earlier today, that it wasn't live, but we recorded one and put it on Twitter. We talked about the PSG game tomorrow, PSG Atalanta. And Nick, we can sort of recap it right now for these guys, seeing as we probably have about 8 minutes before kickoff. But, we talked about, that line has been dropping, Nick. I'm not sure if you've had a look at it, but that line is now PSG, I believe, is minus 110. So they went from like 125 when these lines were out to about 120 to 110. And they were plus 105 this morning. And now they're at minus 110. So they're getting a steady stream of action going their way.
Yeah. I mean, there's injuries involved in this game, right? We have Mbappe out, and Di Maria's out. He's not injured. He's just got yellow cards. Verratti, I believe, is likely to miss. And then we have Ilicic on Atalanta out. I think Atalanta was flying high. They kind of, I don't know, they slowed down towards the end of the season. They didn't lose a game until that final game against Inter, which Inter did a great job of really slowing down their attack. And PSG, you mentioned in the preview this morning, has a really good midfield. They're going to be a team that's going to possess the ball and make it tough for Atalanta to run and gun, as we can say. So, I don't think the money's wrong. I think PSG. Listen, on paper, they should win the game more often than not. The one thing I argue that they had going for them going against them is that they didn't play, right? They had the 2 cup games, which they won both 1-0 against a 10-man Saint Etienne team that, they got the red card in the first half. I don't know how they didn't
run that up,
get at least on that. Yeah, exactly. And then 0-0 against Lyon in the first 90 minutes. I think I don't know if that went to extra time or straight to penalties. I forget, but either way, they won in penalties. So it's not like they were clicking offensively for sure. And this team, that's what they're known for. Atalanta, that's what they're known for. What does that usually mean? Inflated totals, and I think we're kind of looking at that. And both teams have really good defenses. So, I think I could try to make an argument both ways. A 90-minute game on the side, and I was struggling, but the total made sense to me, especially as you can get that quarter of a goal, get under 3.25, and I think that's where the play is in that game. So either way, I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. I think we may have a surprise result. I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to get a read on either side, but I really like the total there. I think under's the right side.
Yeah, and I agree with you there. I just think, I looked at Atalanta and I watched their games mainly because I like to in-game bet their games, because you can find a lot of really good spots to make money, and they just seem to slow down a bit towards their attack wasn't as quick, it wasn't as efficient. They run plays, and it's weird because I think I mentioned it a bit in my write-up of the Shakhtar game today, but they run plays amongst their forwards and the midfield where when they're in the final third, you got guys crossing different ways to pull a defender one way or another, and they know the play that they're setting up. So it creates a lot of space for a guy to get in, like a Zapata, even Gomez. The guy seems to be open all the time, but they create a lot of space for themselves by the plays that they run in that final third. And I didn't see that at all in the last 3-4 games, and especially in that last game against Inter. I understand Inter's playing out of their skin right now, but they really did slow. They really did slow down, and I think they're going to struggle against this PSG defense and back line. It is a better team. I know we tend to discount League One as, of the 5 leagues, the worst of the 5 leagues, but they still have plenty of quality in that team and can win. It's whether they have the mentality to win this. It's something that we saw in the Barca tie. You win 4-0 at home, and then you head to Barca and you lose. What was the final score? 6-1, I think, in Barcelona. Yeah. 6-1. It's having the wherewithal. It's just that mental fortitude, and we'll see whether they have it or not.
Yeah, they've choked out. They're like City, right? They just choke out in this tournament, and they just don't get it done. I'm not betting either one to lose. I think the team to beat is Bayern. I mean, they are unbelievable, and I don't. Whoever's got to play them. I mean, obviously that's Barcelona this week. I do not envy their position. I know that's the team you want to avoid at all costs. So I got a ticket on Bayern. I hope they do well. Going back to the Atalanta game, I have a 20-1 ticket on Atalanta to win the Champions League, and I took that a few weeks ago. So I'm wondering personally for myself, I'm still yet to make a decision if, I let that ride a little bit. Obviously, if they get past this game, those odds drop quite a bit, and I'm holding a decent value on a ticket. But I could, if I wanted to get out of it, I could look to just take PSG in this game if I don't, do I really think Atlanta's going to go all the way? No, the idea was, you have an opportunity if they get to the semifinals to possibly cash out or hedge against, depending on who's left and other side. So, and again, these are 90-minute games. Anything can happen. On paper, though, PSG definitely, they spend a lot more money. I'll tell you that. So they better have the better players when it comes to the paper stats, and it's easily arguable that they do.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I've got a mix of futures that are still alive. Obviously, the best of all of them is Red Bull Leipzig. I talked about it in our Champions League preview when this first started way back when, and that I liked them. So I've got them. I did take Atletico Madrid when I saw the odds come out after the draw. I just think that it's a favorable draw for them. So I did take them. I've got some on Bayern Munich and a little bit on Man City, but essentially, if any one of those teams, Man City or Bayern Munich, win, all my bets are covered. If Atletico or Red Bull Leipzig are to win, it's a very big payday. But I'll look to hedge. Right. I'll look to hedge out. I think on that one side of the bracket, I think Atletico is by far the best team.
Yeah, and that's definitely the better side to be on. I kind of looked at the Europa the same way. Before this round started, I grabbed Inter plus 325 to win, knowing that, their side of the bracket was easier. And if they get to the final, likely against United, plus 325 is a pretty good price to have on them. So hopefully they got one more game to go, and then it gives me an opportunity to throw some money on United and cash a ticket either way and get some free money. So, when it comes to futures, I don't know about you, Carm. Well, I kind of do because we talk about it. But, I very rarely, especially if you have a bigger one, but I very rarely let them go without hedging. I might not hedge out all the way, but you're going to hedge something because you go that long and you have a ticket that's, looks very, very good. You just kick yourself if you don't cash something. So I'm always looking to cash something. Sometimes depending on how I feel, I cash out. So I make a bet where no matter what, I'm getting the same result. So that's when I don't feel good about it. Sometimes if I feel good about it, I just cash a little bit to maybe protect the wager itself, the original one, or maybe make a little bit of money if the wrong team wins. So that's the point of futures anyway, is to have that opportunity.
Yeah, and listen, my thing with futures will always be finding a price that's usually before a tournament or a playoff starts that's 10-1 or higher. On a side that I think can make somewhat of a deep run, but probably not win because I can hedge it out. It's always been that way. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, I took the New York Islanders at 40-1. Do I think they're going to win the Stanley Cup? No. But do I think they can make a run? That I do. You know what I mean? They're up against Washington now, and I think they'll get by Washington. And now we're into, like the semifinals, and you're now looking at a ticket that pays a heck of a lot more, or you can hedge out. You can turn that 40-1 into a 30-1 ticket by hedging a little bit the other way. Anyways, We're underway, Nick, in this game finally. So away we go, boys.
So I wanted to this game. So the one thing you mentioned about Orlando and the price and them being a slight favorites. I mean, it's a draw no bet on the spread plus 0, but on the money line they're slightly favored over Portland. So one thing about Orlando in this tournament, they played 6 games, right? They've averaged 1.74 expected goals, and every single game, including against LAFC, they won the expected goal battle.
Wow.
Portland, 1.33 expected goals for, so about 0.4 goals less. But 5 out of 6 games, they actually were the lesser team. They actually allowed more expected goals than they took. So that's interesting to look at, to know that Orlando's actually been the better team as far as creating chances all tournament long. In Portland, they have the experience. They when they get their chances, they're good at converting, and that's how they've gotten to this point. But they've actually allowed quite a bit more chances than Orlando has this tournament, and we'll see if that is ultimately the deciding factor here. So I do like the pre-position bet or pre-game bet for us to be on the Orlando side. I think statistically speaking, how these teams have played, it makes sense, but 90 minutes on the field, we'll see how that plays out.
Yep. Robert asks if anyone got hammered on that Man United game. I certainly didn't do well in that game. I just couldn't understand. And I was doing some in-game wagering on that as well, too. Not a lot, but I'm like, this team just, I think I posted on Twitter that at halftime that they needed like a B12 shot. They just had nothing. And this is the thing is, it's they care about this tournament. You know what I mean? It's still a trophy at the end of the year. It's not a Champions League trophy, but they're not in that tournament. So I just couldn't believe how bad they played. And now they got Sevilla up next. And if nothing else, Sevilla, we saw them today again. And Sevilla they're like I think you mentioned it, they're like the Europa League team. They've won this, 4 years? 5 years? They've won
five times.
5 times.
5 of the last 11 or 12, and 3 of the last 6.
Yeah.
So, they're the Europa League champions for sure.
Wow. And the other one is going to be good. It's Shakhtar and Inter. So that's another doozy, I believe. So it's going to be interesting. What would I like to see? I'd like to see Inter and Man United in the final.
Yeah, that's what I see. I think Shakhtar is going to give them a run for their money, man. They're a good team. Ukraine is this is a shame it's not home and away, because their home field advantage there is tough, man. That's a tough environment to go play. So again, anything can happen in 90 minutes. But I think Shakhtar is going to give Inter a good run. I think they're a solid team, and you were definitely on the good side today against Basel, who did play very well so far in this tournament, but were just outmatched.
Yeah. The only thing I hate about that Man United game is I did put out like a play for my soccer clients, a futures bet on United. Just they were playing so well, and we're down to the final 8, so they were like plus 235. They're one of the favorites to win the tournament, so I put out a play at plus 235. My thinking was, if they make it to the finals, which I figured they would, I have Man United at plus 235 to lift the trophy, right? And you're not going to get a price like that if Man United makes the final. If they make the final, United will be favored over Inter. They'll probably be like 160 to lift the trophy. You'll probably get like plus 140 on Inter. And at that point, you know what I mean? If, it's not a big enough wager to hedge out, but it's always good to have plus whatever it is, 285 or whatever on a team that's minus 160 to lift the trophy. So good way of looking at it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the future bets down to this stage of the tournament, 8 teams left, especially with the restart. The restart it was unique, right? It gave us a good read on some of these teams coming in, and United was a team that was playing very well, and Inter was a team that was playing very well. And same thing going into the Champions League. It was like Juve was a team that was kind of stumbling a little bit, and obviously they got knocked out. They did actually play well against Lyon. Lyon did what they had to do, and they went in there and they limited Juve as much as they could and moved on. So, I mean, it was unique in the fact that teams were playing a lot. Certain teams had different things to play for. Some didn't have anything to play for and were just playing out. Like a Sevilla kind of had their position in the league locked up, and they were still playing well, but they were, they didn't have the urgency to play, versus a Barca trying to win the league, but really weren't playing that well. And then Real Madrid playing very well, but against a very weak schedule. So as soon as they played a good team in City just, they had no chance against City. I know the scoreline looked like it was pretty close to 2-1, but City really kind of toyed with them that game. They didn't really have much opportunity.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how all this pans out. Obviously, I think the Europa League final is on the 21st of August, and on the 23rd is the Champions League final. So Hopefully between now and then we can continue to put out some of these winners. We're going to restart this live in-game betting in September again, where we can do like a Saturday morning EPL one. I think we both kind of enjoy that one. Do a 10 a.m. game and then enjoy the rest of the day. So we'll do that. So we're going to try and make some money. We've made profits on these last 3 shows where all 4 shows we're sending it to the girls in Detroit who do a fantastic job running our client department at WagerTalk. So that's the plan.
They deserve it. Let's make sure to get them some good money.
So all right. G Sports, you're in. Portland 5, not a problem. I think you're like the 3rd or 4th guy who has Portland, so that's all good. We've got everything done. So Crash again. This is great for you. 5 overtimes, and I think somebody said they need like 80 minutes or something like that to between resurfacing the ice and getting the players out of the dressing rooms and back into their rooms, hotels and stuff. So this next game is likely not going to start until I'm going to guess 11 o'clock at the earliest.
Yeah, that's a pretty unique situation. You got teams that are, you got a scheduled start time for a game you play then, right? But now they're at the mercy of this game in front of them. It's like the college basketball, the NCAA tournament. They just kind of have to sit there, be ready, and wait. That's got to be weird for those players because they've gone through their routines, gotten themselves ready to go. And how long have they been sitting there?
Yeah, if they had more than 2 dressing rooms, I'd say they just alternate periods. Okay, you play one period or you play one period. You play one. This way there's no intermissions, but obviously TV money rules at the end of the day. But okay, so while we're waiting for some action here, because I'm not seeing anything happen as of yet, but. No real change in the line, but as far as
Orlando controlling the possession right now, and a couple crosses in the box, nothing really threatening, but they seem to be the team that's kind of in Portland. Is kind of a team that's usually okay with that. They don't really look to hold a lot of possession, so kind of as expected right now. Orlando will probably hold most of the possession in this game, and we'll see if they can generate enough chances, but. Nothing really.
Yeah, the only thing really is the 3-way betting line. Orlando City is plus 125 now, down from 140, and Portland is plus 200, up from 170 at game time. The total is still sitting right where I believe it. We're only 10 minutes in. Minus 120 both ways, over and under on this game, and such. So. Welcome to the chat, Francisco Mira. Sevilla will win it again. Yeah, listen, they play a very good style of football, and they're the type of team, the way they play, that can give United fits. So is there a line out on that game yet, Nick?
I haven't looked, but
I'm gonna have
I would be. The game just ended. I'd be surprised if there was yet.
I'm gonna look. I'm seeing Europa lines up. There are. Man United's plus 137. Sevilla is plus 200. The draw is plus 225. Inter Milan minus 134. Shakhtar Donetsk plus 333, and the draw is plus 275. Quick look at the totals will show that the total in the they're only showing the 2.5 totals, but that's not the actual total in the Man United game because the under is minus 150. So that likely means that it's 2.25, Nick.
Yeah, 2.25. Yeah.
Okay, and in the Inter Milan game, it's showing the total at minus 138 on the over, so that is likely a 2.75.
Yep. Without any research and not that I know the teams, but without really looking at it yet and thinking about it, I would both dogs sound not bad. Again, I'm not saying that. I really have to think about it. We have to talk about it. But both dogs sound pretty good. I like the Sevilla game. I feel like is going to be, today's game against the Wolves. Just you think it's going to be a really grinded out. I mean, that's how Sevilla plays, right? A little grinded out, slow game. They can frustrate United. That under. I wish the 2.5 was, but we're never going to get a better number than that. 2.5 minus 150 probably. It's an under game all day, but the under is where I would think that would be the play, but not a great play.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I had both games on, but I was Chromecasting the Shakhtar game to my TV while I put that damn IKEA thing together, and then on my laptop I had the Sevilla game on there, both on. I have an account with DAZN or DAZN, DAZN. I have an account with them, so I'm watching both games. But I'm really focusing on the Shakhtar one. And then when they got that third goal, I hear in the background on my laptop that Sevilla scored, and I completely forgot that I had Sevilla. Right? I'm so tuned in on the 5% play that I completely forgot I had Sevilla. I'm like, oh shit, I got that one too, right? So it's always a good feeling or whatever. Apparently the Bruins game is canceled tonight, so crash again. You get to crash again after this game and watch the Canes and the Bruins tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, how late can they have these games go, right?
Well, that's the thing East Coast. I think, the way they space these games, I think, they want to make sure, even TV wise, that they're showing the games out of Edmonton as well too, right? So you've got the Vegas Golden Knights playing. I'm not sure if that game is on right now or not, but they're playing the Chicago Blackhawks. So you've got that going as well too. Plenty of action, I can tell you that much. So the only one right now is the Columbus Tampa Bay game that is on. So no action in this game yet. 14 minutes in, we're gonna find something that we can bet here. So Francisco, you're in with Portland and 4. I will give you that, even though we're 15 minutes in. It's all good. I'm going to have something for the second half as well too, a contest. If you guys want to give me suggestions, I'm open to suggestions in the, how many times Nick swears, during the second half. I don't know, you guys, we can do that one, but I'm going to put it at
if it's
under 1.5 there.
What was it was the other MLS game we did that I was cursing up and down. That was one that I think was the Galaxy. They had wide
my God, yeah.
I think I threw the computer across the room.
Yeah, you certainly did. I'm looking at the halftime lines here, and right now the halftime line here is Portland 333. The draw is minus 120. Orlando is plus 225. These teams seem to be sort of feeling themselves out, but the minute I pull the trigger on a draw, what's going to happen is Orlando Soccer Club or Portland will score. So we'll hold off on that one. Match total right now is the under is now minus 163, Nick, on 2.5. So that's a big drop from minus 120 4 minutes ago.
Yeah. So what's that plus on the
plus
over?
120,
is 120? Yeah. Yep. That's that drop in. That was only 5 minutes ago. You were right at the 10-minute mark when you looked at that.
While we're waiting, Sabino asks a very good question, because I was going to talk about this. What do we think about this Barcelona Bayern Munich game? I have not put a play up on that game, I don't believe, as of yet. I may have put one up. I'll have to actually check, Nick, if I've put one up or not. But I will tell you this. Everyone, including Nick, likes Bayern Munich. I look at it this way. They're not as big a favorite as Bayern would normally be against any team, and it's because they're playing Barcelona, number one. And Barcelona are like that wounded animal. Always fear the wounded animal. Suarez looked good last game. Messi, if he's healthy, because I know he took that knock on his knee, and if it wasn't for that penalty that they gave Napoli at the end of the first half, at 3-0 going to halftime, I think you would have seen Messi on the bench in the second half. I don't believe he would have started. I think they would have protected him, but at 3-1, they had to keep him out there. They're a team with a ton of quality, Nick. Unfortunately, they're stuck in one of the toughest sides of the bracket. Man City awaits the winner of this. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a reunion of Pep Guardiola against his old team Barcelona, and I think we're going to see some goals. I'll tell you that much. I actually do think we'll see some goals here. I don't think this is going to be a 1-0, 2-0 game. I think both teams to score and over 2.5 is probably a good bet in this game. So that's my thoughts on this game right now.
Yeah, that's a for sure play for me. Is both teams to score and over 2.5. Listen, Bayern clearly had looked better in the restart. I mean, there's no arguing that. The argument to be made for Barcelona is it's a 190-minute game and you have Messi on your team, right? Anything can happen when that guy has the ball, and that's an easy argument that you can't ignore. I mean, plus 245.
Yeah.
On Barcelona. When was the last time you saw that?
Yeah, I still remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. Barcelona played Bayern Munich, and Messi literally he corkscrewed Boateng into the ground. I think it was almost like that commercial where that girl puts the cherry stem in her mouth and then plays around with it and then turns it into a knot. I think Messi did that with Boateng's legs. He tied his legs into a knot. The guy just fell. There were so many memes all over Twitter with that. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I feel bad for him, but I guess they will renew their acquaintances on Friday.
I have a ticket on Bayern to win. They just look very, very good. They're very deep. Lewandowski is just a goal-scoring machine. I think more often than not, based on how they were playing, Bayern probably wins. But again, one game, best player in the world ever on your team. I don't know. I could listen to arguments for Barcelona all day in this one, but the both teams to score in the over 2.5 market combined is a very good way to play this game. I agree. So that's the easy one to look at. But I can't wait to watch it. That of all the quarterfinal games, no, we're at semifinal. Yeah, quarterfinal games. That's the game I can't wait to watch the most.
Yeah. And while we wait for a goal to score here in this utterly boring game, I don't know how we end up with these games. I apologize, but it was the only show or only night we could do this. So we'll still keep talking Champions League and answer some of your questions and wait to see who's going to win. Did anybody say no goals at halftime? And I'll have to scroll through it and one corner kick because that's where we are right now. So
Orlando's going to push through before half. They've had a couple pushes so far. They actually had just recently. They had they got Nani out in front, who's kind of stymieing the corner a little bit. But I think Orlando's going to just get one before half. Just a feeling. I have nothing to back it up.
Yeah. Lim Samuel, welcome to the chat, my friend. Man City, obviously a great team. I think they're going to need, and I don't know what his status is, but I think they're going to need Aguero back. If they get him back, they're a completely different team, even better with him in the lineup, and I think they're going to need him. He's one of those guys who just finds space in that box and seems to always get a shot on goal. So they need to get him back. Hopefully they can. All right, Nick, where are we going here? Looking at our bets. So we're 22 minutes into the game. It's not that bad. Well, the game is bad, but I always say if you get a goal in the first half, That's the biggest thing, right? So it literally opens this game up. Hopefully we'll see one. I wouldn't mind Orlando 1-0 at halftime. I think I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, there's 2 goals in the second half of all of these MLS games. It's been happening all tournament, and in soccer in general. Obviously, the second half is where you see game plans start to get changed, players and subs start to come on, which is very important. Tactics start to change, players start to tire, and that's where you end up seeing more goals. So yeah, 1 goal in the first half, we're fine. We prefer the Orlando side, but either way, we'll do something with it.
I never really start to worry about a total. If I have like over 2.5 in a game, even when it's scoreless at halftime, it's not ideal. But I always figure if I can get one in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the second half, there's more than enough time to get those 2 goals and get a winner. So you get a lot of teams chasing after that, right? So I think these teams are sort of feeling themselves out right now, and it's one of those things where the minute somebody goes ahead, you're going to see these teams moving a lot quicker and stuff, and they make adjustments at halftime. So that's something as well too.
Kick, I don't know where you're at live here. We got a free kick for Orlando in a good position. So see if we get something from Nani here.
Yeah,
G Sports always bet the unders in your games. You're not wrong, G Sports. You're not wrong.
Yeah, it is time for Chara. Chara seems to get away with it. He somehow finds a way of getting away with it where he doesn't pick up a yellow. And if he does, he'll sit out 1 or 2 games a year for yellow accumulation and stuff. So yeah, 20. I got 20. Nick, on Bet365, I'm obviously that's the most updated, but the game that I'm watching is on my Live 247 stream. So, and that is about 30 seconds behind. So you guys know, we normally watch. I normally watch the game. Nick watches on Bet365 if they have it on there, and the video feed is live along with the odds. So while we're commenting on it, we're watching it live, but with Skype and the software that we broadcast on YouTube, where you guys are literally hearing us about 40 seconds after we've seen what is going on. So, if you see a goal before we actually announce it, we're seeing it at the right time. So, don't think that we're that far behind. We're actually ahead. All right, I'm just going to get some live odds on the screen here.
Yeah, time to start looking at them, right?
Yeah, because I'm interested at when I see a 1.5 come up, when to grab it. Right now, there is a 1.5, but it's an alternate line. It's at -200. I don't want to lay that kind of juice.
I think it's not halftime. We'll actually get a number we like on that, and hopefully we have a goal by then anyway.
Yeah, there's still a full 20 minutes in this half, so we're going to get plenty of action, I have to believe.
Yeah. Well, the Portland full-time price has gone up to +220, while the Orlando price has stayed. They were +140 to start, right? There's +130.
Yeah, they're 170. Right, it's a draw price more than anything else. The draw was at +260, I believe, pre-game, and it's down to +210. So all that changes, of course, the minute you get the first goal in the game. And let's hope that we're not talking here for 90 minutes and 30 minutes of extra time. But I do see the odds have come off the screen, and Portland is on the board, boys. So it is 1-0 Timbers.
I was literally just going to say, I think we should maybe look at Portland at +240 because that price has moved quite a bit. And if they score first, we can quick go the other way. So, and damn it.
I'm about to see the actual goal here because I wasn't thinking. And it's a nice header into the net.
Yep.
And it's the other guy who usually scores for them, I believe. I think it's Ibobasi. So 1-0 Portland's, that kind of helps our both teams to score in over 2.5 and opens up this game. It wasn't a Bobasi. I'm not sure who it was, but a nice header nonetheless. So we finally got a goal on the board that one of you guys can actually win this jersey. So let me scroll back up. We only have one corner kick so far, but we crash again. Portland and 3. Brian Silverstein, Portland and 4. Scrolling down. G Sports, Portland and 5. Francisco, Portland and 4. So there's a bunch of you guys right now. So one corner kick, you're going to need some more corners. But what I'll do is with the guys with Portland, you've got the first goal scorer, which is all you needed. It doesn't matter if Orlando scores now. That's more for us, which is good. But if no one, the tiebreaker, the closest to the tiebreaker is crash again. So you guys are going to need some corner kicks. Meanwhile, in the NHL, it's Columbus on the power play. I throw it to you, Nick.
So Orlando. So you got. If you're looking at Orlando, and we want to. If we think they're going to score, and especially if they score the next goal, I think they're going to score. I mean, we thought that from the beginning that both teams are going to get on the board here. They're plus 400 as a full-time result. They're plus 175 to win the trophy. So, as a full-time result, you obviously have the draw, which could screw us. But I'm wondering if there's a opportunity here to get on Orlando one of the other two ways, and it's assuming we see a good goal come out for them next, then we have the opportunity right back on Portland to guarantee some profit on either side.
Yeah.
Although you can't really do that on the three-way line with the draw, but the 2-win trophy at plus 175 is pretty good on Orlando.
Yeah, no. I'm looking at that to lift the trophy as well, too. Plus 175. Just trying to think of what else we could do. Sorry, I'm kind of stuttering here, but I'm just trying to figure this out. The total now is 2.5 minus 188 on the over, Nick. So this goes to show you just a short while ago, it was minus 163 on the under. So, this shows you on how quick a total can change with one goal. But to your point of Orlando, I like Orlando here. I do think they'll win, or I do think they'll score. So at 1-1, it's great if you got them to lift the trophy, and then it's also good. It sets it up for us to win our over 2.5 both teams to score bet.
Yeah, I like that position for us, so no need to change anything on that one right now. And again, Orlando, they don't even need to score before halftime. It'd be nice if they did, but as long as they get a goal here sometime in that early part of the second half.
The odds are off the screen again, Nick. At least off my screen, so I'm not sure. Sometimes it's just a flag. Sometimes it's a run and play. I'm just watching. I don't know why the odds are off. It doesn't look like there's anything in play that actually looks like it's going to happen. So,
some player yelling at
yeah. The Bianco of Portland going at it with the coach. It looks like of Orlando. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
Give him a card.
Yeah, red card would. Don't think he's going to give him a red, but I think he's going to get a yellow. I don't know what's going on there, but it might be a good time. This could be the hydration break. But Blanco, it's Blanco, not Bianco. Blanco seems to have lost his cool a little bit. And of course, Chara's there, mixing it in. He's always got to say something. So We'll see what happens there, but the odds off the board have nothing to do with a scoring opportunity.
Only in the MLS.
Yes. Drink some water, guys. You'll be fine. Cool down. Get another goal before halftime.
Yep.
I don't see any yellows. There's no yellows on the board, so they haven't given any yellows out. But I'm wondering if they'll show a replay of what actually started this.
No, they just show him right in his face. I don't know what happened. I'm sure he muttered something as he was running past.
Yeah, Bianco went there and gave the old yapping thing with his hands or whatever. So, but the odds are back up on the screen. So
it is exciting for that half a second when the odds go off and you don't know what's happening. You're like,
And it is a hydration break. So with that, I'm gonna have some water.
Time for us to hydrate. I'm having my dinner, which is a bowl of chips.
I had. Do you guys have Red Lobster where you are?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had Red Lobster today. They have like this family thing or whatever that you can order. So ordered it, had someone go and pick it up, and it literally I just ordered all shrimp in the biscuits. And
Can't go wrong there.
yeah,
The biscuits are good. We don't have the one thing we don't have is the old Tony Hortons. Or not Tony Hortons.
Tim
What's
Hortons.
Tim Hortons. There you go. I said
Tim
Hortons, yeah.
Horton.
I love grabbing that when I'm around Canada.
Yeah,
It's great.
So Crash again got a yellow for calling the coach poorly dressed bum.
Poorly.
Let me tell you, I think I've told this story quite a few times early on at WagerTalk. Okay, Tampa Bay just scored. So Tampa Bay wins in overtime. That's a parlay winner for me, so I'm happy about that one. In the meantime, so I support a lot of kids soccer teams here. So each year, my oldest brother coaches kids team. So I'll usually go, and I know that it says Columbus scored, which is wrong, but I'm sure they'll correct it. You guys can confirm that for me. That was Tampa Bay winning, correct? So Matthew Helms, apparently someone said that the Canes game has been postponed and will be played tomorrow. So you might want to check on that one. So yeah, my brother coaches. So I sponsor some teams. Like I'll usually go, and if there are players or kids that can't play, I'll pay their membership fees and stuff to get them to play and stuff. We really need our youth playing, and I love this game and stuff. So I get them. Anyone I can help, I will, as far as that goes. But I used to ref, Nick, and I officiated games where it was the over 16s, the 16 to 19, and they didn't like me. I'll tell you why. I was quick with the yellow, man. It's just like
You didn't take any.
say anything, the yellow came out. And I think one game I gave out 4 reds in a game, and they just like, you'd come out and it's like, they just want to say, the F word, it's Carm, right? So and they didn't like me, but I gave them and stuff. I never took yap, which is why when I watch soccer and I see a guy yapping at the ref, you know what I mean? I'm just like, I'd be the most hated guy in the EPL if I was officiating the EPL, because I'd give out yellows to every guy I thought was faking on the ground. I give a yellow to every guy who kicks the ball away off on a free kick because they want to waste time. I'd give everyone a yellow. There'd be like 3 left on the field for each team. So
You could get up and down the field, no problem, huh?
yeah, I could back then. I was in shape, my friend. Not so much now. The knees go, and this is why I stopped playing soccer. The knees eventually go, but every once in a while, I set up a game with my friends, and we'll go and we'll play a game. So there's a field close by, and we get 20 guys or so, and we'll have a game.
I like it.
All right. So what do we got going here, Nick? Give me some news here. I'm seeing 36 minutes in, 36 and a half minutes in, 37 on the real clock, and Portland up 1-0. So we're going to need to get Orlando going here. Tomorrow's game is 8:30, Nashville and Dallas FC. So this will be their first game since the restart as well.
Orlando's holding a 2-1 possession edge, but not really doing much with it. Portland's done a good job of just kind of letting them have the ball. Portland has more shot attempts right now. 2 on target, 4 overall, compared to just 2 for Orlando and none on target. So kind of as expected for Orlando as far as, and Portland, both teams, as far as kind of figured Orlando would hold the ball.
Yeah.
Thought they'd get a few more shots actually when all's said and done, which still could happen. And then Portland's going to, bore you, and then all of a sudden, boom, they score.
Yeah.
So,
Orlando held the better of the play early on, like you said, and that's why they dropped down to plus 120. The Portland goal did not come against the run of play. It's off a set piece. So those are the ones that sometimes are game changers, the set pieces. You could be outplayed and you just get that set piece and you get it into the box and you get a header or what have you, and it just changes the game. I've got the odds off the board again, and I've got Orlando equalizing, Nick. Orlando on the board, 1-1. Let's hope it's Nanny.
Why didn't we get the plus? It was plus 200 just a second ago to lift the trophy. I'm so late to pull the trigger. Missing our opportunities right now. Now Nani feeds it in, and
it's a good goal. Nice goal.
Yeah, Nani had the assist.
So we are tied at 1, boys, which is great for us. It's game on.
Yep.
Yes, David, we had Orlando winning, huh? It is 1-1, David. So we're looking good. We have both teams to score and over 2.5. So the next goal gives us a winner on that bet. So it's all good. Yeah, Sabino, you were giving me the Tampa Bay Red Sox score. I was hoping for the Tampa Bay, the score of the Tampa Bay hockey game, but I'll check that one myself. Unless Tampa Bay were all hugging each other and celebrating a goal scored by Columbus, I'm going to guess that I won that bet and my wager. So I do see it is a Tampa Bay win in 1 million overtimes by point. So way to go. Point is on point with the winner. Lovely.
Well, I released both teams to score best bet in this final to my clients. So glad to cash that before halftime. Now I can hopefully make some more money with you the rest of the way. I think I don't know. So far, no action to do live, but our pregame positions are obviously, Orlando is still kind of up in the air, but both teams scoring over 2.5. Couldn't ask for a better situation.
And here's the thing I play, Nick, as well too is we have a position on both teams to win 2-1. So
we'll have some profit options to us in the second half if it stays like this.
Yeah, they're definitely going to give us options to cash those wagers at a price and stuff. So I'm just kind of looking at them right now, and they're actually offering us even money. So break even on Portland winning 2-1. They're offering us more money, a profit on Orlando City to win 2-1. Our draw no bet is showing a profit, and they are not showing me anything on the I think it's off the board, our bet on where is our bet on both teams to score over 2.5.
Yeah, that one they never really offer a cash out. I don't ever see that in game for a cash out. But listen, if it's still 1-1 at the 60-minute mark, I think they're going to offer us a profit on both ways on the 2-1 scoreline, and we could possibly look to cash that out and just collect it.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. We're still stuck on one corner kick here for that tiebreaker, but right now, Crash again is in the lead right now. and we have a dangerous free kick coming up for for Portland here. So this one's just outside the box. So does he take this free kick like Messi or would do, or does he take it like one of the Italian players that puts it into orbit? We're about to see which way it goes.
So if we would have taken Orlando to lift the trophy, they were at plus 175, and then they went to plus 200 right before the goal. Right now it dropped to Portland even money to lift the trophy. So an interesting way to not that that's good enough to really necessarily take, but it would have given us a free bet on Orlando basically.
Yeah, and it kind of
they're plus 110. Now they're plus 110. We could have cashed $10 bucks.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, and I'll tell you why it bites is because I was trying to make the point that Orlando had a majority of the play in Portland scored off a set piece. So figuring that Orlando can still play well and likely tie it up, taking plus 175 to lift the trophy is a good price. Well, if I just didn't babble on about hockey and everything else, I probably would have clicked on that bet. So
it literally moved to plus 200. You were talking. I was going to wait for you to finish and say, "Hey, Carm, let's get that thing again." So I can't wait to tell Prez that Carm's babbling cost us a win here.
It's certainly a potential win, but yes.
Well, yeah,
but yes, I do get it, and stuff. So
I love it.
So yeah, when you look at to lift the trophy, if if Portland got a little higher, is there a possibility that taking Portland to lift the trophy could offset the Orlando draw no bet? I'm trying to think of if that would work.
Did we lay the draw no bet minus 110?
The draw no bet is minus 130, I believe.
Oh, that's what we laid on that?
Yeah, the draw no bet is it was actually 138 Orlando draw no bet.
Okay.
So
so not yet.
Not yet. So we are probably going to have about, I'm going to guess, 4 minutes of stoppage time. There was the hydration break, and then the coach and Bianco from Portland yapping at each other that, kind of delayed things for a little bit. So we're going to see, I'm going to guess 3 to 4 minutes of stoppage time.
Yeah, sounds about right. And 2 goals. 2 goals always adds a little bit of time.
All right. Right now it's looking like Crash is going to win this unless we get 3 corners. But we will think of another contest at halftime, and I will put 3 jerseys up for grabs in the second half, or at least 2. I want to leave one for another show. So I'll put 2 jerseys up for grabs in the next half. Someone asked me a little while ago, welcome to the chat, Julio Aguirre. I hope I got that right. I don't want to massacre anybody's names. Someone asked me about our thoughts on the PSG game. We talked about that PSG. We talked about that a little earlier, but we'll mention it again. We're leaning to the under in that game, under 3.25. Getting that extra quarter goal and stuff. I think it's a good bet. I think it's going to be a tighter game. PSG hasn't played lights out. Obviously, they've only played those 2 cup games, Nick, winning 1-0 in a game where, they were up a man for more than a half of football.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't score against Lyon. Lyon literally played lockdown soccer. And that one went to extra time and I think penalties. So I don't think Atalanta's going to want to play a wide open game against PSG. I think that's the worst thing they could do. I think they can't play just a defensive game, but they're you mentioned on today's earlier show, they're the 3rd best defensive team in Serie A. So they can score goals and they can defend. So I'm leaning to the under in this game as well too.
Yeah, I think it'll be Closer game, definitely a lower scoring game than most people think. PSG Atalanta, what do you think about goals? What does that mean? Inflated totals? Quick value on the under. So to me it's a simple play just on a fact that the line's probably a little overinflated for that reason alone. And then they expect the goals against numbers for both teams are very good. PSG's is excellent, and Atalanta is third best in Serie A, which people don't realize. So I like the under as well. It's good.
Yeah, listen, the books, the books with their opening lines always seem to get it right. You know what I mean? You can beat the books. Sometimes there's a lot that they put into in getting these. What you have to remember is, people look at the easiest way to look at the game is to say, oh my God, Atalanta, they scored like 98 goals in Serie A. They're lighting up. They score 6 goals against this team and 7 against this team, and PSG lights it up. You also have to look at the opponents. It's too easy, and if it was that easy, the total would be 3.5 or 3 3/4 on the game. I'm not saying that this game can't finish 4-3. All I'm saying is the books usually get that opening number right in order to get you betting or to balance out the betting on the over and the under. Because at the end of the day, that's how they make their money, right? Is to balance the action.
Yeah, all they want is equal action on both sides, collect the big, and go home. No risk. All right, Orlando has another decent chance right before half here.
So we've got 4 minutes of injury time. So I win that prop bet, 4 minutes of injury time, Nick. You'll have to pay me out on that one tomorrow. I'll take it in. You guys have Dunkin' Donuts. We have Tim Hortons here. And then, of course, there's Starbucks. I have a Starbucks just down the street. I buy these refresher drinks that they have, and it frustrates me because it's the same thing. I get a glass like this. They're venti sized. And they fill it to the top with ice, and then they put that refresher drink in it. You literally take 3 sips, and then you're done, and you've paid $7 for the drink. I still keep doing it. So I don't get it. Okay, we're at halftime right now in this game. We're going to look at some odds for the second half. Nick, plus 160 in Orlando. Better team first half, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, again, the set piece goal was all Portland really, generated. They had one of their shot on goal. I don't even honestly remember it. But Orlando possessed the ball. They created more chances. They had more play in the opponent's box. I'll say that. So, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't think Mbappe is going to be on that bench at all. That's my best thoughts. I don't think there's ever a thing of trying to throw a team off or whatever. You have to remember Atalanta is prepping for the best 11 that PSG can put out there. So it's not like they're going to walk out there and go, oh my God, Mbappe, he's playing, right? And be surprised. It's the quarterfinals. These guys know exactly what is going on. So I don't think he's going to be there. He could be on the bench, but he's not coming into the game. They're not going to risk a long-term injury to bring him on for 20 minutes of a game. Juve just did that, and it backfired with Dybala. They brought him on. He wasn't ready to play. They brought him on, and within 14, 15 minutes of coming on, his hamstring or whatever it was, a thigh muscle, it went again. And, and now, he's probably going to go through at least a 30 to 45 day recovery before he's ready. So, those are tough. And then you got to go right into a new season like that. It's not a good thing. You can't gamble with a guy's health like that. Even for something like Champions League, they've got enough talent on the team that they don't need to do that.
Right. Correct. So, I'm trying to think my way through this. You got a no third goal option at plus 300. We both obviously think there will be a third goal, but We could, if we wanted to, put something on that half of our original wager and kind of guarantee a little profit. But
I think.
I don't know if I want. I don't know if I want.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a goal. The over 2.5 is not like it's minus 450 now.
Yeah, no. And I'm just saying. Hey, I'm just saying. If you want to guarantee something, it's there.
No, I get it. That's one bet I'm willing to ride out.
One goal.
One goal. That's all we need. One goal. I was actually looking at Orlando City plus 105 to score the next goal.
The third. So, yeah, there we go.
You're essentially doubling down on what you really want to happen, more than anything else. Okay, so Crash again. You won a jersey. So if you're following me on Twitter, send me a message on Twitter at Carmine Bianco WT, and I will get your info from you and send you a jersey. Second half, we need to give away 2 jerseys. So let me figure out how we're going to do this. All right. We will do one on the final score. First and foremost, give me the final score of this game and the total corners and yellow cards combined. Okay, so if you think the game is going to have 6 corners and 3 yellow cards, and Portland wins, your answer will be Portland and 9. All right. Don't worry about the fact that if someone picks the exact same team and number as you, I will draw out of a hat at the end and award it to somebody. So that'll be the first one. The end of 90 minutes, the winner and yellow cards and corner kicks combined to win a jersey. And then Nick, you pick how to give away the second jersey. Can you think of anything?
I guess it's got to be the second half of this game. We could go, to guarantee a winner, right? We could go,
or how about this?
We could go,
Will the here's a great one. Okay, this is the thing. Will the third goal of this game be scored by foot, head, or that's it, right?
Or third goal.
Yeah, or no goal. Head
or own goal.
Head, foot, or own goal. I guess we want that own goal. We're just a little greedy here. Let me change my position here a little bit. So, yes, pick how the third goal will be scored. Actually, let's just make it this way. Because we got to make it a little tougher. The third jersey, pick who's going to score and how will they score it, by head or by foot. All right? So...
all right.
So your answer will either be Portland by header, Portland by foot, Orlando by head, or Orlando by foot. Choose one of those 4 options to win a jersey.
I got a question for you. Is it I'm assuming this game's going right to penalties as all the other games did?
Yeah, I believe so.
So it's crazy to me that Portland, for example, is plus 250 to win the game on the 3-way line, but only plus 105 to win the trophy. So they're literally dropping 150 points on penalties, and then Orlando's plus 160 to minus 143, plus 160 on the 3-way line, minus 143 to win the trophy. So that's 100 points. I mean, that's a lot of value on just being a coin flip, I feel like the penalties are. I can't really – how do you handicap the penalties? I mean, I guess you look at who might take them, but that's –
yeah.
I feel like if we really like either team to win, the full-time result is the way to go here. I mean, that's way too much to win the trophy. I don't think it has any value whatsoever if you're just doing a crapshoot on penalties.
Yeah. Nick, I'm going to double down on Orlando here. So
I'm fine with that.
so
Plus 160.
Orlando plus 160. I'm putting it in right now. So we're doubling down on Orlando in this game. It could come back to backfire, but this is why we do what we do. So okay, so Robert's in for Orlando and 11 corners and cards combined. Orlando and 12. Sabino, you'll have to tell me who is going to score by foot, Orlando or Portland. Robert Foot and called back by VAR. That's likely going to happen. Orlando to win and under 5 corners. You just have to pick who's going to win and total corners and yellows combined. Give me a number. You can't go over or under. Crash 2-2. Portland wins in penalties, 8 yellows and corners combined, and Portland wins by foot. So, well, if it goes to corners, if it goes to penalty kicks, I'm going to guess that they win by foot. So, all right. And watch that game, guys, but teams play better. Okay, so we're going to be starting the second. When did they go to second half, Nick? Was there a countdown on this? Let's go to, since we haven't talked about this Champions League game, Nick, I'm going to throw this one at you. I don't know if you have a play on it yet. Man City, Lyon. Anything you want to discuss on that game? Total or side?
3 quarters, I believe, is the side, correct?
I'm sorry?
It's minus 1 3/4.
Yeah, it started at minus 1.5. I think it's at minus 1 3/4 now.
Okay, I guess you could buy it to minus 1.5 for, looks like, minus 125, maybe minus 130. So either or. So either maybe take minus 1.5 or you do plus 1.75. Honestly, I mean, City to advance, it seems like I mean, I'm not suggesting that play. That's minus 700, but
yeah.
City to win the game it's hard to argue anything but that. I mean, Lyon will try their damnedest to do what they did to PSG. It's not going to work. Personally, I'm going to look to play City here on the 3-way line in a parlay with something. Maybe the over. This might be so that there's a market where you have a result and the over 2.5. So, hang on a second. Let me do the. I don't have that market in front of me, but to do the math, I bet that's a pretty good price on City to win and over 2.5. I mean, I like City. I'm not thrilled about laying 1.5. I mean, I still think it's hard. That would be the side if I quick made an answer. But City, I don't know.
That actually, in all honesty, that actually doesn't sound all that bad. City to win and over 2.5 is minus 138.
There you go. Okay, that's what I was looking.
In all honesty, this is one of those games where this is how Lyon. How does Lyon win? Lyon wins by trying to completely shut down City, which is a tough thing to do, and win off of a set piece or a counter or try and get it to extra time and penalties. That's how Lyon wins the game. How does Lyon get blown out, for lack of a better word? If City score within the first 20 to 30 minutes of this game, Lyon completely have to change the way they play, and this is 2-0, 3-0 all day long for them. So
yeah, so that's the quick way I would look to play this game. City and over 2.5 as a combo. I mean, City, anything can happen in 90 minutes, but City clearly are the team to beat in this one. And I just not thrilled about the. Looks like you can get it for minus 125, or Bet365 has it a little bit lower, like minus 122 for minus 1.5. So that's not a bad price, but just so far the laying that kind of number hasn't really been covering a lot. I mean, these are tough games. It's not like Lyon's a bad team. They're a good defensive team, and I think they'll do their dangest. But City have been rolling and been clicking, and they looked really good against Real Madrid, who's a very good defensive team, and Real Madrid's a much better team than Lyon. So you got to go with you got to go with that. I mean, this would have cashed against in the Real Madrid game, and I'm sure we would have had a better price on it. So you got to think it's going to happen again.
Okay. Just let me get a quick message out to Crash again. It hasn't popped up on my Twitter yet that you're following me. But the minute it does, I'll return follow, and then at that point you'll be able to send me a message, or I'll send you one. But I'm not seeing it as of yet, but it will pop up at some point. Or you can just reply to my last tweet that I sent out with the in-game wagers, and just say, thanks for the jersey or something like that, and I'll make sure that I add you on and stuff like that. So just remember, guys, 2 ways to win jerseys. One is the who wins this game and total corners and yellow cards combined. Right now that number is at 2. And then I'm going to give a jersey if you can pick who scores the next goal and how it is scored. So if you think Portland scores the next goal, your options are Portland foot, Portland head. If you think it's Orlando foot, Orlando head. So choose that for the third goal in this game, who scores it, how it's scored.
I'm going a Portland own goal.
Portland own goal. Look at you. You just gotta throw a fly in that ointment. Brian goes. Well, Brian goes with
that works.
Sorry.
In every sort of way that works for us. Every which way I can think of. So we got to root for it, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't hate it.
Absolutely. Brian Silverstein says third goal Portland and by foot and Valeri. We need a player. Well, we don't need a player, but I will take Valeri because we do have him to score in this game. So
wait, if Valeri scores an own goal, does that count?
If Valeri scores, no, unfortunately it doesn't. So Robert's got Portland foot. So Orlando win and 5, and Orlando by foot. So a couple ones that I would be perfectly fine with as well too. So all right, we're getting there. I think they're going to be coming out for the second half, I believe. And
yeah.
I'm just looking to see if there's any odds change at all. Nick, you seen anything?
No.
I did see Orlando go up to plus 162. So yeah, as far as that Man City game, wouldn't be a bad option, I think, at taking over 2.5 goals and Man City to win. I think we do see goals in that game. That's a much better option than over 2.5 and both teams to score, because this could easily just be 3-0 Man City.
Correct. That's the one reason I like the City side. You're right. I'd hate to see City, as we expect them to win 4-0, 3-0, like you said, and not cash something because we took the most teams to score in over 2.5. So I like the result, and I like the over 2.5. I think it's a good play.
All right, Crash again. I did follow you back on Twitter, so I will send you a message later, or you can send me a DM now if you want. You should be able to send me now that I'm following you, and just give me an address where I can send the jersey to. If you're in Canada, it's a postal code. If you're in the US, it's a zip code. So make sure I have all the info. Send me a message, and I will get a jersey out to you before the week is over. So I don't have a pick on the UFC card. There's just been so many UFC cards that I actually did have a winning parlay. I did play a parlay on the last UFC one. When we got to the main event, I think there was like 5 fights in the main event, and I tossed one out that I just didn't like, and then just parlayed the other 4. With a couple of them were like over 2.5 rounds, which offered a little bit better value as far as that. Nick, are you a UFC guy before
I'm just a fan. I watch. I don't bet. If I do, it's following a couple of the other Wager Talk guys, Kyle or Gianni, the guys that do really really well with the sport. So no, I don't try to handicap it, but I definitely do watch. I mean, nothing more exciting than watching two grown men kick each other's ass,
or women. Yes.
or women. Correct. That's even better.
Jimmy Salamanca, Orlando wins and 5 combined. Okay, you are in. Orlando scores by foot. That sounds good. Yeah, we seem to have enough people in with a shot to win this, so that's all good. I'm just looking at any of the scorer props in this game, Nick, just to see if there's anything else that we could possibly take here. But I kind of like our positions right now, especially that 2-1. Second half's just getting underway now, which is good. But the
I want to check at the 15-minute mark, so 60-minute mark, what those 2-1s are paying out if it's still 1-1 right now.
Yeah, the corners for this game, the current in-game corners for this game is 6. So they're expecting, they're expecting more to come. It's just a matter of when they come. As far as goals, Portland total goals, the over 1.5 is -120, and for Orlando, the over 1.5 goals is -163. So obviously, everything they have right now, it's not always the way it goes, but everything they have right now is Orlando still favored, which they were pre-game. So other than the draw coming down, the draw is actually the favorite right now at +150.
We have Nani, and who do we have for Portland?
We have Nani and Valeri.
Yeah.
So neither one of those guys is coming out of the game, so we don't have to worry about, unless they get injured, and knock on wood they don't. But neither one is getting injured, so we'll see them in there for a good part of the second half of this game.
Too bad penalties don't count for that.
Yeah, no, unfortunately. I remember once a game ended like 1-0, and the guy the goal scorer was an own goal, and I actually had bet that guy to score a goal, and I knew it wasn't a winning bet, but I had to go and check the Bet365 rules, because I was like, they must have a rule in there in place that an own goal does not count as a goal. Again, I knew that it was the losing wager, but I had to see if they actually had a rule in place, because I'm sure someone does call him out or get on the live chat and say, my guy scored a goal. He was in his own net, but he scored the goal. So, and they do have that in there. So, what else we got going here? I'm looking.
We got a kick for Portland just outside the box. So a little early action on in the second half.
Okay. I'm keeping an eye on everything. It was Diego Valeri with that shot, that corner kick.
Oh, right at the
goal.
goal.
It was a nice corner, though. I mean,
on target.
Yeah, if anyone gets anywhere close to that, even a flick on it or something, it's likely in the net. For you guys following hockey, obviously the Calgary Flames won 3-2 today. Dave Koken had a 5% play on that game, so congrats to Dave on that. Tampa Bay 3-2 winners in like 17 overtimes, and I think the only game left, because I believe the Boston game has been canceled. So
yeah, I saw it across the feed. It's tomorrow, 11 a.m.
Yeah. So at 10:30, I'll be able to watch the second and third periods of that game, the Blackhawks and Golden Knights. While we're watching soccer here, I'm going to tell you, as far as that hockey game goes, I honestly believe, and I talked about it on Puck Time today, that of all the series where there could be a sweep, I seem to believe that this is the series. Chicago does not match up well with Vegas. I know what they did to Edmonton, but Edmonton and the Golden Knights are two different beasts in the way they play. They're not going to get those 2-on-1s against the Golden Knights that they got against Edmonton. So I think Vegas is the play tonight. You can take them on the puck line and get plus money, or you can take them at regulation time bet at like minus 115, minus 120 to win in regulation time instead of laying the 210 to win the game. So that's a little hockey free play for you guys.
I am a Blackhawks fan, Carm, so that hurts me in the inside.
Well, you're also a Philadelphia Unions fan, I believe, so it's something to look at. I'm taking a hydration break, Nick. You can take over.
Well, so far in the second half, I mean, it's only a few minutes in. It's probably in the 6th minute right now. Seems kind of like the same way the first half started. Orlando kind of holding a little bit of possession. One free kick that Portland had was a good chance, kind of how that first goal came. So seems like the same kind of run of play we saw so far in the first half. Nothing to get too excited about. But I think this is one that I definitely feel there will be a third goal. I think we're very, very good in that bet. And you know, if I just don't see so far in the run of play, Portland really hasn't created many chances, and I want to say set pieces you never know, but I think Orlando hopefully has corrected what they need to correct or figured out a way to play the set piece, and I don't know if Portland's going to get many chances run of play, because Orlando's been good all tournament long as far as expected goals against and limiting their opponents. Like I said, they've won expected goals in every single game. It's not because they've always got a lot of chances. It's because they've done a decent job of limiting them. So I don't know. I like where we sit right now with Orlando to pull this one through.
Yeah, and like I'm watching the game. Obviously, my feed is about 30 seconds behind, but obviously, it's, at least initially the halftime changes, and not player changes, but in the way they're setting up. Portland looks to be playing a little bit better than they did in the first half, and they got out of that first half even at 1. They just picked up a double corner now. So for the guys with the corners, this is another corner on there, and we had a yellow card, so we're up to 5 on that number. But they're getting balls into the box, and anytime you get those balls into the box, I always say you just don't know, man. It's the great equalizer. Sometimes you just keep firing away. Whether it's a handball or whether it's a favorable bounce your way, you get a goal, and it just comes out of nothing sometimes. So
yeah.
Initially, 7 minutes in, Portland seems to have a little bit better of the play right now. Just keeping an eye on this, just seeing, how the odds are changing, and Orlando are now at plus 200, Portland is at plus 260, and the draw is at plus 125. So while I do think there's still another goal in this, because second half has just started, the 2.5 is at minus 300 right now. So
to go over.
Yeah, to go over. I'll keep an eye on those 2-1 score lines as well too. Basically to see where we stand on those ones. On the Portland 2-1, they're offering us a 50% profit on our wager. On the Orlando one, they're offering us a 46% on our wager. So we're getting a profit on both 2-1 score lines right now.
You cashed it out. They're almost 50-50. You cashed them out. We won our bet. Basically, Well, we didn't win the big payout, but we won what we risked.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We end up with like 100% of one bet, essentially, is what we're
Yep.
looking at
Yep.
if we cash
Yep.
those ones out. So,
All right. So we hold them for a little bit. Maybe we can get a 2-to-1 on it, or 150, 1.5-to-1 on it at some point in the next 10 minutes or so.
yeah, I believe so. I'm just refreshing my screen on this just to make sure that I've got the right numbers on there. So, Orlando and 5. So we've got 5. Right now we've got 5 combined corners and yellows. And I'm going to continue to search for some small wagers.
What's interesting about that correct score is we're not holding a winning ticket either way right now, but that price will get better and better because the chances of when one of those third goals does come, that that be the last goal becomes that much greater. So you actually start getting better payouts, even though we're not holding a winning ticket, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. If that goal is an own goal, it's even better.
Oh, that was a good chance from Orlando. Got blocked. They had a good shot right there right inside in the box. Another cross right to the keeper. All right, little good play there from Orlando. Good side.
Continuing on, I just want to make sure I mute the game so we don't get the echo in the background of the game and such. So, Sabino, you're welcome. Hopefully, the free play is a winning play for you guys. So, yeah, Crash. It does seem weird seeing. Nanny has been the guy who seems to have been fueling this team of late. Dwyer had that flying elbow of his. Has Dwyer picked up a yellow card today? I'm not sure who picked up the yellow card so far in this game. Let's have a look to see where the yellows came from, because I see a yellow for both teams. So,
the goal scorer Mabiola, yeah, scored, and then Carlos Antonio.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm surprised. I would have. You told me this.
Dwyer will get one.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time to get one, and hopefully within the next 10 minutes or so we get that goal on the board, just to lock in some profits for us and stuff. So it's always a good thing. Robert, the Vegas Golden Knights to win just to win the game is, which includes overtime, is minus 211. To win in regulation is minus 115, minus 120. You can get it at. So that means in 60 minutes, if it goes to overtime, then that minus 20 bet loses. So it's in regulation time. So I believe that they'll win in regulation time. So that's where that bet comes from.
Yeah, it's a good way to get them for a much cheaper price there.
Yeah.
Quick break from Portland. Snuck in and cleared it out on the Orlando side, but that's how they're going to hit. That's how they're going to catch Orlando, is probably on a quick break like that. So got lucky there.
Yeah, minus 124. Yeah, that seems about right. I think I hate to say it's a popular play, because usually when everyone likes one thing, it's not a good thing, but sometimes it does win. You know what I mean? Sometimes the squares are right. So, all right. So, looking through these odds in game right now, Nick, the draw is still at plus 110. That no third goal, that was plus 300, Nick, is now down to plus 175.
Wow, that dropped quite a bit.
So that is still there. I'm looking to see the draw no bet that we have on Orlando is still at minus 138. So that was one of our pregame wagers. So if we get no goal in the second half, that wager will push. If we get an Orlando goal, I think we end up cashing 4 different bets in this game.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I like that option.
It's too early to start drinking, but in 30 minutes, once this game is over, I will finally be able to have a drink after that whole IKEA dresser thing that we talked about. So,
how much longer you got on the renovations?
We are still a ways away from them.
So I get to listen to you complain about it for the next week, several weeks.
Yeah, you do, unfortunately, and stuff. And on tomorrow's tune in, guys, tomorrow at 1:00 for the Stoppage Time show. Actually, it's not tomorrow. It's on Friday. It's on Thursday, right? That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm losing all sense of days with this damn pandemic thing. I don't know what day is what anymore. In my head, it's no longer Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's Europa Day, Europa Day, Champions League Day, Champions League Day, Champions League Day, Champions League Day, and then Sunday. So this is how I think of the days now in my head. Is every day is a soccer day. It's just crazy. But yeah, I just have to get my living room floor done. Hardwood floors redone. And then start working on stage 2, which is the man cave.
What do you need in the man cave?
The man cave, I'm going to move the TV that is in there now into the bedroom, and replacing the TV that's in the bedroom. So a much bigger TV in there. And then I'm looking at like one of the sort of the short projectors. You know, I mean, not one of those ones that it's at the end of the room, but a short projector from one wall to another. Obviously with a sound system and then some very comfortable chairs. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes, right? So.
Did you say kegerator, or did you say that
I still have to speak with the committee. You know what I mean? The committee being my wife. So we'll see how that goes. The odds are off the board, Nick. So I don't know what is happening, but the odds are off the board. I'm seeing a yellow card, but the odds are off the board. I'm wondering if they'll come back on or if we're going to see a goal.
I'm not seeing anything for a goal. Oh, there's a foul right outside of the box.
Okay.
So there's a free kick on the edge of the box for Portland.
Everything just kind of disappeared off my screen as far as all game odds and bet odds and yeah. So that's another yellow. We got 3 yellows and 3 corners. So we got 6 up on that. And this is an opportunity for someone to hit Portland by foot if this free kick goes into the net. Did anyone have? I'm pretty sure I saw Portland by foot.
Yeah, I saw that. Somebody had that.
Nick Brown, welcome to the chat. I'm just scrolling through. I saw you in there. Portland and 6. If Portland scores here and there are no more corner kicks and yellows, you'll have Portland in 6. So Portland by foot, Robert S.
This is tough. This is like where it's like almost too close. You're straight on. You got to get over around all into a short little window. This is a tough spot.
Yeah, I think this is the ones where you can't go high. I think you kick it low between a couple players or between their own players and the wall, and you try and bounce the ball to the goalie. I think it's just too far. ahead, or you just got to drill it and hope you make it through the wall. So sometimes that bounce works. It's
Ooh,
tough.
that's a good shot.
It's tough on the goalie.
That was a really good shot. It is right to the bottom left corner and a good save. Yeah, that was a great save. That was Valeria. I was probably going in.